Good morning, guys. Coffee time. How are you? Good stuff. Let's talk about the two witnesses today and how we assume a lot of things. What do I mean by that? Well, quite frankly, we assume that the two witnesses are male. Okay, even though it doesn't describe male. Oh, well, he's wearing sackcloth. They're wearing sackcloth. So did the poor. It was a sign of humility. In fact, it was a sign of mourning in the ancient world. And it continued well into the 17th century. Mourning, sackcloth. But we assume the two witnesses are male. They are the two candlesticks. They are the two olive trees. An olive tree can be strictly male. It is a self-pollinating plant, but after 1 or 2 seasons of not bearing fruit and only bearing male pollen, they get rid of it. But in truth, it does not say that the two witnesses are male. It does not. I've went through the old interpretations. I went through the Hebrew, the Greek. It is not male. It just simply states two witnesses. And we assume that they are male. Well, a lot of the prophets wore sackcloth. Again, sackcloth was for the poor. Why do you think they gambled over Jesus' clothing? Because it was poor clothing? No, it was nicely made clothing. Clothing was hard to come by back then. So why do we assume that it is male? Again, I'm just here to make you think. Well, all the prophets are male. Oh, no. Let's see, there was Elizabeth, John the Baptist's mother, Anna, who saw the infant Jesus in the temple and recognized him as the Messiah. That's still prophecy, by the way. There's bad prophets, but you see, they were still prophesying. There's other examples in the Bible. But we, as people, assume that it was males. It's going to be two males. Mary Magdalene and supposedly the other Mary, or possibly Johanna, those were the ones that went to the tomb and realized Jesus had risen. You see, they witnessed that Jesus had risen. Not witnessing him rising, but they bared witness. We've heard pastors say this. Why would Jesus use two women? Women didn't have a foot to stand on. In fact, two women didn't have a foot to stand on. 4 women? Now maybe the courts would listen. Again, just here to make you think. But we automatically assume that the two witnesses in sackcloth, we actually think it's going to be sackcloth. It's going to be humble, poor clothing is what it's going to be. Beat up, possibly dirty. But it may not actually be truly sackcloth. Sackcloth described a type of clothing. And who typically wore that clothing? Again. But anyway, just food for thought. I know that'll piss some of you off. That's okay. It's all right. I'm just here to make you think. There's, the way I understand it, a couple different Bibles out there that state that they are male. But the original translation, Greek, Hebrew, it's just not there. Food for thought.